had no intention of filming this day. In fact, all I had planned to do was go to the store and get some things for a cookout. Next thing I knew, I found myself down around 64 to catch M688 at track speed. I didn't have to wait very long. From 64, I headed back to town en route to the grocery store. As I pulled into the parking lot, my phone rang. It was my buddy calling to see if I was in town. He was up by what he and I call the Triple, and asked if I would like to join him as he had word that a few different trains were on their way. I told him I would hurry and get my groceries home and in the refrigerator, then I would be up. As I was leaving the parking lot, I had a strange feeling there was more to come and that it would be quite late before I got home to my grill. Finally, I was on my way to the Triple. There is a triple signal down at the CSX LIRC connection on the south side of town where we often meet to film trains. Hence why we say, "I'm at the Triple." My buddy and I sat and talked for a good while, when out of the blue he said something that really caught me off guard. "Well, that's a frickin' funnel." After that, we decided to move up to the north side of the CSX line as the cement train was getting close. The Jackson County Visitors Center, located in the former Southern Indiana Railway and later Milwaukee Road's freight house, makes for a great place to film trains on CSX's Indiana subdivision. However, my impatience got the best of me, so I decided to head to the east side of town for a different angle. Something I quickly realized was a mistake. The cement train, L453, was already here. I had to turn around fast and backtrack. I made it back to O'Brien Street, but not with enough time to park and get out to film. So, I filmed the engines from the car and then headed down to the library on the west end of town. Looking back now, I am glad I filmed this train here. The Poplar Street crossing, which you will see in a minute, is one of my favorite crossings in town to film. I would like to add that I am unsure if this train is L453 or L452. Both of those IDs I mentioned belong to the same train, but they are directional IDs. I think westbounds are L453, but there's a good chance I am wrong. Currently, this cement train is the only train keeping CSX's Indiana sub west of Seymour alive. A cement plant in Mitchell, Indiana has expanded and is now shipping daily by rail, with plans to add more daily trains in the future. This all came to be around the time the local ceased operations west of here, thus keeping the rails polished. When this train cleared, I had every intention of going home and firing up my grill. By this time, I was beyond hungry for a good bratwurst. However, my phone rang once again. My buddy on the other end informing me of another train coming. So back to the triple. The rain was starting to set in, and after seeing that funnel cloud earlier, I was keeping a close eye on the sky. I kept seeing what I thought was more rotation, but it was nothing more than wishful thinking. While I would never wish the aftermath of a tornado on anyone, I have been a storm chaser for quite a few years, always in search of that perfect photograph of wall clouds, lightning, and even tornadoes. You may see my mother's black and multicolored polka dot umbrella as I film M574. I did not want to get my new phone wet as it was quite costly. Luckily, Mother had left her umbrella in the car, so I was all set. I just can't help but wonder what the crew on this train thought of a big 6'3" guy using his mommy's umbrella. I hope they got a good laugh out of it. By this time, I felt like I was starving. For once I was rather glad to see a train end. Yes, I know my windshield wipers are bad. They have since been replaced. Once this train had passed, I said goodbye to both of my buddies who were there with me. You didn't see them because they stayed in their cars due to the rain because they were chicken shits. Anyway, I left thinking I was finally done and able to head home and fire up the grill. Well, as you can see, I am turning because yet another train was nigh. So here we go, back to the triple for a southbound Norfolk Southern grain train. Next to my kids, here is my favorite thing to see, a high green trackside. Well, if you blinked you missed it, but there was my mother's umbrella. I am not ashamed. It did its job. This train is what they call a run-through-unit train. It is a Norfolk Southern grain train that runs from General Mills somewhere in Tennessee to a loadout facility in Kokomo, Indiana. If anyone can provide more details, please utilize the comment section below. At this point, I knew this was my last train for the night. So now it was finally time to head home and fire up my grill. That was my goal early on this day, to cook some bratwurst on the grill, sit on the porch, and just relax a while. Home made sweet tea in hand, calling my best buddy to discuss trains, politics, and whatever else we saw fit. Despite Roland being there with me through all of this, we still talked on the phone for a few hours once I arrived home. I would like to thank you all for watching this video. Please use the comment section to tell us what you think. We at Back on Track Productions wish to interact with our viewers as much as possible. Thank you again for watching this video. And yes, I finally got to grill my damned bratwursts around midnight. They turned out pretty frickin' good too. Till next time, take care and we will see y'all trackside.
It's a Back on Track production.